Well, good afternoon, all of you. Welcome back to the online sessions on MCC subject. In today's uh, class, we discuss about the CSMA multiple access technique. And the CSMA multiple access technique already we discussed in the data communications and computer networks. Once again, same kind of a multiple access technique we are also going to use in the case of the mobile communications as well. Okay, so data communications means what? It is a computer to computer communication. Now here also we are communicating from one mobile phone to another mobile phone, which means what? We are communicating from one mobile computer to another mobile computer. So that is what the communication we have now. So instead of a computer, we have simply a mobile or a mobile station or a mobile user for that matter. So therefore, we are simply handling with the data communications between mobile to mobile or between computer to computer. Our mobile phone is also known as a mini computer. Okay, so that because it is involving in the data communication between one mobile station to another mobile station, so it is also going to be like a computer for us. So therefore, whatever computer to computer communication that we have discussed in the previous semester, so same kind of concepts will be coming over here. But here in the syllabus, we don't have the Aloha protocol and slotted Aloha protocols. We have straight away jumped to the CSMA protocols. Okay, normally used to detect the problem called carrier sense multiple access protocols. So here it is simply as we go ahead in the case of the designing the protocols, we will be going towards a betterment towards providing the service to the end users. Okay, so that means here the end user should not feel that his data got interrupted in between while he is talking to his friend or while he is transmitting his signal to transmitting his data to some other mobile units. So therefore, certain powerful multiple access techniques need to be incorporated. Okay, so here let us go with this now. So first of all, we just have a glance here. What in the starting things already we discussed. Introduction to the multiple access techniques, why we use the multiple access techniques. So whenever we wanted to have a communication for multiple mobile stations, then we normally go with multiple access techniques. The situation is going to be when multiple mobile stations want to access the scaled resources of a base station, then we normally implement these multiple access techniques. So therefore, that is what the basic introduction which we already seen. And multiple radio access protocols. Okay, now we have two types of protocols here: contention based protocols and contention less protocols. So let us, in this contention based protocols, we have pure Aloha protocols, slotted Aloha protocols, carrier sense multiple access protocols. And under this carrier sense multiple access, there are two varieties going to be called as carrier sense multiple access with collision detection with collision avoidance. That means in the CSMA CD and CSMA CA, before collision takes place, we are normally going to find out the probabilities of collision, probabilities of avoidance of the collisions. So this is what we have in this particular session. Well, now, first of all, let us go with the multiple access control channels. Now, what is the scenario we have? The scenario is same as the data communication scenario we have. So these are the mobile stations. This is called mobile phone 1, mobile station 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to n number of mobile stations we have. Now all these mobile stations are connected to the base station by using the shared multiple access medium. So the medium is going to be only single medium. Single medium is being used by these multiple users to share a base station. So that means this is going to be the case of a data communications. So whereas here all these mobile stations want to communicate to the base station. So it's going to be kind of a data communication once again. So therefore, once again, whatever we have discussed in data communications, because in a wireless mode, data communications is going to be the mobile communications for us for that matter. So therefore, we discuss about the wireless mobile data communication. So this particular topic can be called as wireless mobile data communications. accessing techniques. So that accessing techniques we can do by using a multiple access techniques. So among them we have discussed about uh, strongly about FDMA, TDMA and CDMA techniques. Now we'll try to discuss something more into the CSMA kind of a technique also. Okay. So now here we have to write in terms of mobile stations rather in terms of a computer. In the examination, what we have to do, we have to simply write in terms of communicating between mobile stations instead of saying a word like communicating between the computers. So here our mobile station is going to act like a computer. So once you replace the computer by a mobile station, now almost all the process is going to be same as we discussed in the data communications. So whatever knowledge you have gained in the data communication subject, same knowledge can be once again reused in this particular concepts. Okay. So it is something like reusability. If you know that, you can simply reuse all those concepts. Your time and energies are simply going to get saved a lot in this particular topic. Okay. Now let us look into it now. Each mobile station is attached to a transmitter or a receiver which communicates via a channel shared by other nodes. So each mobile station, say mobile station 1 is attached to a transmitter or receiver. What is a receiver? Receiver is going to be base station, for example, which communicates via a common channel shared by other nodes. So this is a channel shared by all other nodes. So that means that whenever you wanted to share some information on the common channel shared by so many others, to a recipient, to a receiver, then that really comes under the multiple access channels, multiple access uh, case. Okay, so that means multiple access control channels. We have to deal with that by using the multiple access techniques. So transmission from any mobile station is received by other mobile stations. So what is the scenario? Say mobile station 1 can make a call to mobile station 3, or mobile station 4 can make a call to mobile station 2. So like that, any mobile can call to any other mobile station. So here the transmission from any mobile station can be received by other mobile stations in the network. Now this entire thing is a network, but the network is going to be a wireless network. Now this all these mobile stations are connected to the shared medium via the wireless network or a wireless medium. So this is what the change we have. Then what are the main issues in the case of the multiple access? The issues are going to be multiple access if more than one message, sorry, if more than one mobile station transmit at a time on the control channel to the base station, a collision occurs. What is the problem which we can really come across in the case of the transmissions? The collision may take place. When the possibility of collision that take place now, what is the possibility of collision? At a single point of time when more than one mobile station transmits its data to a base station, then the collision is normally going to occur. So that means if more than one mobile station transmits at a time on the control channel to base station, a collision occurs. So how to determine which mobile station can transmit to base station is a main important performance bottleneck for us. Okay, because the base station or the control unit should compulsorily monitor the status of various mobile stations while the data is being transmitted by the mobile stations on a common platform or on a common medium. Okay. Now here for doing that, that means to determine which mobile station can transmit data to base station, we normally use the multiple access protocols. So we depend on the multiple access protocols. So solving multiple access issues, what are the different types of issues we normally going to come across while really resolving the issue of multiple transmissions from a base station to the multiple transmissions from a mobile station to the base station. So different types. What are the different types of the solving methods protocols we have? One is going to be contention protocol. Next one is going to be collision free protocol. So contention protocols already we discussed in data communications. It's going to be using pure aloha protocol, slotted aloha protocol, CSMA technique. So all this we discussed in the data communications. Now once again, same concepts are being discussed here, but only replacing a computer by a mobile station. That's all. That is only the thing change we're going to have. All the rest of the concepts is going to be absolutely same. So contention protocols resolve a collision after it occurs. Now, how the contention protocol really operates? It operates or it resolves the collision after the collision happens. After the accident happens, then we normally go and resolve the issue of accident. It is something like that. So these protocols execute a collision resolution protocol after collision. So after collision takes place, these protocols are normally going to resolve the issue after each collision takes place. So in the case of collision free protocols, these protocols ensure that a collision can never occur at all. So this is somewhat better. Before collision takes place, we are going to predetermining the possibility of collisions in the medium. Okay, thereby we are simply avoiding the collision to take place. Okay, so here what happens is some handshaking in the collision free protocols environment. Handshaking signals are going to be more. Why? Because so much of communication should go on take place between one node and the other node in the communication network. Whereas in the case of contention protocol, that communication signals are not needed much, because here whatever whoever guy has got a data, they will simply transmit the data. So once after collision takes place, then the rectifying actions will be considered to take place in the case of the collision contention protocols. So the contention protocols are the very beginning protocols. These protocols are normally used wherever the traffic is going to be less. If traffic is going to be more, then definitely contention protocols are normally going to hang the system, or it is going to stop the system. So because of that, no other users also can able to transmit their data via this shared medium. So that danger will be there. So wherever we have a less possibility of contention or a less traffic, there we really going to use these contention protocols. So wherever we have more traffic possibility, there we normally use this particular collision free protocols, of course. So let us move on to the next one, medium sharing techniques. So medium can be shared by using two techniques as we discussed earlier. One is going to be static allocation. Next one is going to be the dynamic allocation. So that's what we are discussing over here. Static channelization. So that means the channelization is normally going to be static, means what? It is all going to be predefined channel allocations will be performed in this particular channel, static channelization. So here what happens is, in the case of the channel static channelization, the customization is not provided. That means tailoring is not provided. Since customization is not provided, you should not write tailoring in the exam. For understanding purpose, I am using the term tailoring, but in the exam you write the term as customization. So customization of the techniques is not possible in the case of the static channelization. It is something like we normally when we lay a road, we have to live with it. There is no customization in that. If the traffic increases, if traffic is less, whatsoever it is, you have to live with it, whatever that we have. That is something like once a human being gets a body, he has to be happy with his body. If he is not happy with his body, what will happen? His life becomes miserable. So that means that giving a body to human being is a static channelization. You cannot change your body in between if you don't like it. So you don't like your body structure, you don't like your color, you really cannot change in between. So that means it's going to be static channelization. But coming to the thoughts, yes, thoughts are going to be dynamic medium access control kind of a thing, where always good thoughts are normally going to get overloaded with the bad thoughts. Thereby we always go in a very go and lead a comfortable life with the good thoughts. So that means having good thoughts is going to be dynamic medium access control protocol application. And having a body given a body to a human being by an almighty is going to be like channel static thing. Once it is done, it is done. You cannot change it later on, whatsoever may be the possibilities, problems, okay, whatever it is, you really cannot change them at all. So that is what static channelization. Okay, so there are two types of medium sharing techniques. One is static channelization method, and next one is dynamic medium axis control methods. Okay. So in this particular dynamic medium axis, once again, there are two subdivided into two, that is scheduling. We can schedule the each and every mobile station when to operate. And next one is random access. So the mobile stations can be accessed randomly. Mobile access can be accessed by a method called scheduling. So these are the various channel medium access control ways by which we can really access the channel. Now, multiple access protocols, as we discussed, are going to be of two types. One is going to be contention based protocols. Next one is conflict free protocols. So contention based protocols means, once again, they are going to be of two types: random access, and next one is collision resolution method. So random access means what we discussed earlier: Aloha protocol, CSMA protocol. Once again, we reiterate them here also, because we are discussing the same concepts in the context of the cellular mobile communications rather than computer to computer communications. And next one is collision resolution. It is a tree, window, etc. This we don't have in the syllabus. This part, this collision resolution, is not in the syllabus. We have only this part of the story. So we just stick to this part of the story. The next one is going to be what now? Conflict free kind of the medium access control protocols. In the conflict free mode of communications, multiple access techniques, we have FDMA, TDMA, CDMA, token bus, okay, etc. All these are the conflict free kind of the protocols. So here we are discussing about now CSMA. CSMA comes under the random access control protocols. So next one is going to be Internet Streaming Media Alliance. We don't have this in syllabus. Busy Tone Multiple Access. We don't have this in syllabus. This also we don't have in syllabus. Distributed Queue Dual Bus is not in syllabus. As it is going to be a more general examples. So all of them are there in the slide that I am explaining to you. But don't bother about these things which are not there in the syllabus. Okay, let us move on now. So already we discussed about a contention based protocol using the Aloha protocol, okay, which is developed in 1970 for a packet radio network by Hawaii University. So contention based protocols comes under the packet radio protocols. So we have a radio protocols, packet radio protocols in syllabus. So for packet radio protocols, we can write about this contention protocols. So now how it normally going to operate, these contention protocols, how it is normally going to get executed or implemented. Whenever a mobile station, see here I am specifying here a mobile station. Whenever a mobile station or a terminal, so speak it like a mobile station. Terminal we speak when we have a data communication system called as a terminal or a computer. So whenever a mobile station has data, it transmits the data. That's it. In the case of this contention protocol, first of all, whoever is having data, that guy is normally going to transmit data. You don't bother about the network conditions. He just simply transmits. It is something like, whenever I have a bike or whenever I have a car, I start taking the car into the road without looking about the traffic conditions of the road. So it is something like that. It simply transmits the data. So sender finds out whether transmission was successful or experienced a collision by listening to the broadcast from the destination station. So once after the receiver receives this transmitted signal, the receiver is going to send a broadcast signal as an acknowledgement signal to the senders. So once after sender receives that broadcast signal, once after the sender listens to that broadcast signal, sender understands that whatever data he has transmitted has reached to the destination successfully. Now what happens if the sender don't receive any acknowledgement signal? Then if there is a collision, then the sender, he won't get. If collision takes place, what will happen? The receiver don't receive that packet, and sender won't listen to the broadcast signal from the receiver. Then the sender is going to wait for a predefined amount of time period. Then after that, he treats that some collision takes place in between, and once again he retransmits the data after some random time period. Okay, so this is what basically going to happen in the contention based protocols. Okay, so it is, this can be handled by using two protocols. One is Aloha protocol and a slotted Aloha protocol. So Aloha protocol is purely contention based protocol. Whenever a collision takes place, that information is given to the given to the mobile station, where the mobile station is going to retransmit the data after waiting. That means if a collision takes place, then the mobile station is going to retransmit data if you don't receive any acknowledgement. In the case of slotted Aloha protocol, it is something like improvement than the pure Aloha protocol we discussed already. So here time is slotted and a packet can only be transmitted at the beginning of every slot. At the beginning of every slot of the mobile station, then the packet, if at all it is missed before to that, then that can be really transmitted. So that it can reduce the collision duration. So there will be some amount of improvement here. Let us see pure Aloha, compare pure Aloha contention collision mechanism, and next is slotted Aloha. No. Let us look into pure Aloha protocol. Say node 1 or a mobile station 1 has data, it has transmitted. Then that node 1 packet has to transmit to some other destination node, say node 5 or node 4 via node 2. So it is going to transmit after node 3 in the path towards node 4 or node 5. Now this is the path. So in the path towards node 4 or node 5, what happens? Say a collision takes place from the node 3 packet with the packet coming from the node 1. So this is what there the collision takes place. So once the collision here takes place, these two packets got lost. Because of accident, the accident is going to be a very major accident here. So definitely when the accident is going to be major, both of them are going to get collapsed. So here the node 3 packet and node 1 packet which is going after node 2 towards node 4 or 5 packets, then they got collided. These two got lost. Now after some time, node 1 and node 3 should once again retransmit the packet if we don't receive any acknowledgement from the node 4 or node 5 terminals. That is what the scenario here. See here the scenario now. Say node 3 want to transmit the data. Node 3, what happens is collision takes place here, and node 3, this one waits. Say here, actually, the context is pretty simple here. See node 3, whatever packet is coming here, I just wanted to transmit. So waiting a random amount of time, then retransmission takes place. Node 2 is going to retransmit the packet to node 3. So here what happens now, once again, node 2 is going to retransmit the packet for another node, whichever is coming from node 1. So like this here, the contention protocols, what happens is after waiting for random amount of time, they are simply going to retransmit. Node 3 is going to retransmit. Node 2 is also going to retransmit after waiting for random amount of time period. That means if the traffic is so busy, then what happens is so many collisions takes place, so much of waiting time will be there, so much of retransmission is going to take place. Once again, these retransmissions once again may get collided. So all these problems are normally going to arise if the traffic is going to be really huge. So therefore, for a very huge traffic, Aloha protocol cannot really serve the purpose. Now the probability, we have discussed in the last class about the probability of the data transmitted. Okay, it's going to be something like if the G is the rate of the traffic rate. So as the traffic rate increases, e power minus, it will be going towards infinity. So this possibility is normally going to come down. So rate of the traffic, small g is rate of the traffic, G is rate of the traffic. Then this is nothing but the collision occurrence. So as the traffic increases, it will be going towards e power minus infinity. So as it is going towards e power minus infinity, it is coming down. So that means what the care that we take towards collisions is simply going to decrease here. So therefore, the probability of successful transmission is normally going to decrease when the traffic is normally going to increase. So the maximum extent what we can have under the conditions, 18%, 18.4% is going to be the throughput from this particular Aloha protocols. So this is what 18% only throughput here that we're going to achieve. Now coming to slotted Aloha protocol, how it is been modified, let us see. See what happens here. So here no transmission, transmission taken place at 2 towards 3. Then before beginning of 3 only, the packet is normally going to get identified that collision got take place and have to retransmit the packet. So what happens now? Node 2 is now once again it is going to get retransmission. Retransmission takes place. Node 2 packet is once again retransmitted. And next one is node 3 packet is also going to get retransmitted. So the packet from node 3 and node 3 got collided just beginning of node 3. Then immediately what happens? This retransmission is normally going to get take place after random amount of time for the node 2 and node 3. Okay, so I want to this node 2 and node 3 got interacted, got collided, they lost. So wait for some time period, then once again they are going to get returned. That means this checking is going to take place at the beginning of every time slot. So this is which is the advantage of the collision mechanism in slotted Aloha protocol. So using this protocol, what happens is the throughput is going to increase. So throughput is going to increase means what? G into e power, earlier it was minus 2g. Now it is going to be just g. Therefore, definitely throughput is normally going to increase. It's almost all doubles. So 36.8% is the double than the half Aloha protocol, pure Aloha protocol. So here throughput is going to be this much. So throughput, the probability of successful transmission is a throughput. So the probability of successful transmission is going to be 36.8%. So if you transmit around 100 packets, 100 nodes, signals are coming from 100 nodes, 36.8 nodes are normally going to transmit data very, very effectively without any collisions. So this is same as the discussions we have made in the data communications, Aloha protocols and pure Aloha protocols. All right. Now let us let us look into the contention protocols now. Carrier sense multiple access protocols. So this carrier sense multiple access protocols, what we'll do now? We have an improvement with respect to the Aloha protocols. What kind of improvement we can bring here? Start transmission only if no transmission is ongoing. That means, first of all, we have to read the shared resource. On the shared resource, if no transmission is taking place, ongoing transmission is taking place, then only transmit. Otherwise, don't transmit. So that means this is what, once again, a handshaking, which we have to do to know about the status of the shared resource. That is called the basic funda behind this carrier sense multiple access. That means we have to sense the carrier on the multiple access medium. We have to sense the carrier on the multiple access medium. Carrier means any signal. So we have to sense the shared resource before we really transmit any signal onto the shared resource. So that's why it's called as a carrier sense multiple access. What is that you have to sense now? You have to sense whether any carrier signal is moving on the shared resource or not, or on the multiple access shared resource or not. So therefore, the name is given as carrier sense multiple access. And in this, we have two varieties: CSMA CD, CSMA CA. So CSMA CD means what? With collision detection. So improvement is something like performed in comparison with Aloha protocol is that stop ongoing transmission if a collision is detected. So even after we sense before we transmit, sometimes collision may take place. So here, if the collision really takes place, that information should be transmitted to all the nodes which are there in the network. So in that case, what is that which is going to have now? Where the node whichever has got data should stop ongoing transmission if a collision takes place. Say a particular mobile station started transmitting by identifying that there is no carrier signal going on the multiple access medium. It has transmitted. Now after some time, after an immediate time, it has got a acknowledgement, handshaking that some collision takes place somewhere. Then this particular mobile station whichever is now started transmitting should compulsorily stop its ongoing transmission. So that is what which is going to happen in the collision detection process. So once after the collision is addressed perfectly, if the problem is cleared, then only this particular process should once again reinitiate. That is what one method, what is called collision detection method. Another method is going to be collision avoidance, called as a CA method, collision avoidance method. So what is the improvement we can bring it here? Wait a random time and try again when the carrier is quiet. If still quiet, then transmit. So that means here wait a random amount of time. Okay. Before we transmit, every mobile unit has to wait for random moment of time, except expecting a signal about the carrier, whether carrier is quiet or carrier is bursty. Bursty means what? Signal is there on the shared channel. Quiet means what? There is no signal on the channel. Okay, or the shared resource. So if it is still quiet, then the mobile unit or a mobile station is going to transmit its data. That means before the mobile station transmits its data, it is going to think whether I need to transmit or not. So that decision will be taken in the case of the CSMA, CA kind of a technique. Now, how does it gets the signal back now? Using an acknowledgement. So therefore, CSMA, CA will be done with an acknowledgement signal, of course. So with a remote transmission signals also going to be used. Okay, so with the RTS signals also it's normally going to be done. So now here maximum throughput achievable by slotted alloy is going to be 36.8% only. It is given in terms of a probabilistic value. Now ratio if you want, you'll be getting 36.8%. Just multiplied by 100, you get 36.8%. So CSMA gives improved throughput compared to the Aloha protocols. Listens to the channel before transmitting the packet. This is what the advantage. It has to listen to the channel before it transmits any packet. So which avoids unavoidable collisions because of this. But only thing is waiting time is going to be more. You have to wait for more amount of time. That means when you simply add up all the waiting time periods of all the mobile stations, then the time which is used to complete the entire transactions in the network coverage area is going to be a bit lesser than the, of course, Aloha protocol, but collisions are not going to take place. Now, what is the principle of operation of this now? So imagine it is a time axis now. Now imagine there is a mobile station 1 packet. Now mobile station 1 has transmitted its packet on the shade medium, and mobile station 2 has also transmitted on the shade medium, but these two are not collided. And here at mobile station 4, the signal for mobile, now this particular mobile station 2 is going to transmit a signal or data to mobile station 4. So in that case, this mobile station 2 itself, it should sense the shared resource for the mobile station 4. So it senses or more or less I can say it senses the mobile station 4. Now there will be some predefined delay for the signal to reach to the mobile station 4. The delay will be considered. In between that, another packet from another mobile station has simply come onto the time axis. Obviously, this particular mobile station is transmitting signal to mobile station 5. So it has to sense the status, whichever is going to transmit the data on a shared resource. it has to, that node, this node has to sense about the possibility of the collision on the shared resource. Now this is the fourth one. So it has to calculate the delays, it has to calculate the delay of this, and it should find out a probability of collision that takes place nearer this particular 4. So here it find out that there is a possibility of colliding 4 and 5. So whenever it finds that there is a possibility of collision, that information is given back to the node 2 and node 3, so that they don't transmit their data in the given time slots. So thereby we can avoid the collisions here. So that's how, that means a lot of handshaking is going to take place between the shared resource and the mobile stations. So kinds of CSMA is going to be non-persistent and a persistent. So non-persistent means what? No waiting period. Persistence means what? Waiting period. So usually CSMA is actually used to avoid collisions altogether. So waiting time is the one which is implemented in the CSMA, of course. So coming to non-persistent, we have unslotted non-persistent CSMA, slotted non-persistent CSMA. That is not so popular for us. So for persistent, same unslotted persistent and slotted persistence. So these are the various subdivisions in this. So let us, all this persistent and all these things, we need not go into that depth, because we have to understand about what is the protocol it is and how it is really going to operate. That's all. So all these things are not there in syllabus, so I'm skipping. Now here you have to draw only 3 graphs. One is going to be Aloha protocol. Next one is going to be slotted Aloha 0.36. Aloha is something like 0.18 is there somewhere. And the slotted Aloha is going to be around 0.36. Okay. Then these curves, the throughputs are increasing. If you see carefully, throughputs are increasing here in the case of the CSMA. So in the case of CSMA, one persistent CSMA means what is yellow curve we're going to have. So where the throughput has simply increased here drastically. Okay. In the case of the persistent CSMA. Right. So if you observe this carefully, CSMA 0.5 persistent CSMA, we normally going to get all these various possibilities. Okay. So only draw 3 graphs in the exam to compare about the various types of the contention protocols like Aloha, Slotted Aloha, and the CSMA. That's enough for the examination to draw. So on the x-axis, we have a traffic load. On the y-axis, you normally going to have a throughput. Throughput means what? Without any collisions, how many packets are able to transmit through the shared resource is called a throughput for us. So this is what that means. You have to show the improvement from Aloha to Slotted Aloha, from Slotted Aloha to the CSMA kind of a protocol. You need not mention persistent, non-persistent in the case of CSMA, because we don't have that much in depth into the CSMA. Okay. Now, here what happens, you have to explain the operation of CSMA with the collision detection. Now, whatever I just shown you pictorially, same thing you have to explain now in words. Draw pictorial thing and explain in words how things are really operating in the case of this particular thing. Okay. See here now, in the case of the CSMA, if two terminals began sending packet at the same time, for example, let us take a condition here. At the same time, two nodes or two mobile stations or two terminals have begun sending its data. Now each is going to transmit its complete packet, whatever packet that it has to send. That's something like a burst logic. Usually the mobile stations are going to transmit like a burst signal. Burst means what? All the number of bits will get transmitted, which are going to be there in a packet, will get transmitted in a burst fashion in a just given time. So now here, although collision is taking place. Now I don't know, these two nodes don't know that the collision is going to take place in the ahead. While you go ahead now. So that's one of the thing which we don't know. Now, if the collision really takes place, what will happen? It is simply wasting its medium for the entire packet time. So the entire medium is wasted for the packet time. Okay, so that means if we don't sense that collision is going to take place, problem is going to come across. Now to avoid this, CSMA CD, what it is doing now? It is implementing all these steps. If the medium, before it transmits, it looks for if the medium is ideal, transmit. Then if the medium is busy, continue to listen until the channel is ideal and then transmit. See, if the medium is busy, continue to listen until the channel is ideal and then retransmit. So if say terminal 1 or mobile station 1 transmits, then immediately the second mobile station, mobile unit will sense that the channel is busy or the medium is busy. Okay, it will wait for a time until it gets a turn. So if a collision is detected, now what happens is, sometimes what happens is the second guy, because of delay and all, the second mobile station may not may not listen to the signal on the shared resource. In that process, what happens? This also may transmit the data, and the collision is detected during transmission. Now, after collision is going to happen, then this particular what is this mobile stations are going to receive the information that collision took place. Once they receive the information, they simply stop. They simply cease the transmissions. They cease the transmissions. So detection not possible by the wireless devices. But if the collision is detected during transmission, cease transmitting. So it has to cease the transmitting. Detection not possible by the wireless devices. So here detection is not possible by the wireless devices. So it has to have a mechanism to get the signal to the various mobile stations. So wait a random amount of time and repeats the same algorithm. So signal should be there to the mobile use station and it has to wait for a random amount of time period and then repeat the same algorithm of retransmitting the same signal. Okay, that means first care is going to be what now? We avoid the collisions. If collision takes place, once again, same as the previous procedure, like Aloha, whatever we have used, same kind of a procedure is simply reiterated here. Okay, or reused here. Okay, before that, one more extra thing which has been used over here is going to be the this one. Okay, so this is what we have CSMA CD basic technology or basic concepts involved. In the next class, we continue with CSMA CA also to end up with the CSMA techniques. Thank you very much for the today's session.